Come on. Let's get it. Here we go. Smash those likes. Guys, I'm Blockchain Crusader, crusading through blockchains every single day. And we're back for the first live stream of the day, 1 of 3. You know how it is, Monday through Thursday. We do 3 live streams per day. And we have made some big moves today in the market, guys. Bitcoin's breaking out. Is this the fake out, right? Is this going to last, or are we going to be dropping out like it's hot here really soon? So we're going to be covering Bitcoin. Altcoins are obviously loving this Bitcoin pump. Aerodrome up another 14.2% today, baby. Let's go. Up 62% in the last week, smashing through our targets. We're definitely going to be talking about Aerodrome and many other altcoins here as well. Caspa up 12.2%. Good to see it. Good to see it. We got Uniswap up 8.7% today. Let's go take a look at Bitcoin. Where's Bitcoin at? Bitcoin is still hanging on here. Still hanging on, guys. This morning, we longed the bottom, baby. We longed the bottom in the Crypto Citadel, my friends. If all of you guys are not in there already, definitely do so and join, for we longed the absolute bottom this morning. Give me a second here. This morning, the Crypto Citadel, like I said, we longed the complete bottom. I warned everybody in the Crypto Citadel. You guys can see here at 8:32 this morning. I said, hey, Bitcoin long, if we sweep the VWAP and the London low, look at our entry, look at our TPs right here, smashing through those TPs. And guess what, guys? That's exactly what Bitcoin did. Bitcoin came down, swept this London low, swept the VWAP around 106,468, closed above it, and since then we have been breaking out. We hit our first TP at 107.10, and then we hit our second TP at 107.200, and we have been literally teasing the third TP so far up at 107.800 right now. We're currently sitting at 107.582. We might not get it. That's okay. I already closed out my trade earlier this morning on the second TP when things were looking a little shaky, right? TP1 hit, TP2 hit, closed out my trade for 9.45% gain, 239 smackaroons for this morning, baby. That feels good, making $200, working less than 2 hours a day, and that is what I'm talking about. That is what we're trying to do in the Crypto Citadel. Signals dropped, profits made. That's the motto of the Crypto Citadel. That's all it's all about, baby. So if Bitcoin continues to break out here, obviously we're still need to get above our third TP of 107,800. Like I said, that's just, you know, one of those things that we need to get above so we can start running towards the value area high of the previous week range. The value area high of the previous week range is at 108,495, give or take, right? We do have some targets to the upside here as well. But if we zoom out here on the Bitcoin chart, right, let me zoom out here for you guys a little bit. Let me turn off some of these indicators. Yeah, it's a little messy, but overall, let me turn off this second TP. We don't need this line here. What happened last night, right? Last night, we came up here. We came down to the weekly NPOC of 104,942 during the Asia trading session. And since then, we've been rallying to the upside of the previous week range. Last night in the Crypto Citadel, I did drop an update on Bitcoin, right? Talking about what are some neutral to bullish momentums we need to get above. Key support was the NPOC of 104,940, right? We held that support perfectly. We bounced off of it, and then we broke through resistance at 105, which is the previous day high as well. And sustaining a break above 105 unlocks a run, right, to 106. And if we lose 104.5, then we're dropping lower. But we didn't lose that. We held one above, and we kept rallying. So that was an update last night in the Crypto Citadel when the market closed of what we were to expect earlier today. So far it's been playing out perfectly. Obviously, we didn't take the trade from yesterday down at the NPLC. I was sleeping. I was actually watching John Wick. I was watching John Wick, guys. One of my favorite movie franchises. Just can't. It's nothing like a good Father's Day without watching John Wick. So overall, right now, our targets to the upside is if we can get above our third TP here of 107,800, running for this value area high of the previous week range at 108,463. If we break out of the previous week range, then our targets to the upside will continue to remain. We have an untapped daily average and untapped MPOC between 109 to 109,547. But the main target here will always be this previous all-time high of 109,880, as it has been massive resistance all of last week and in the past as well. So that being said, getting above 109,880 is hypercritical for Bitcoin to close to push higher towards new all-time highs. Now, if we get rejected here at this value area high of the previous week range, around the 108,450-ish, right, we might rotate this range back to the downside, which will not be great as we are going to be falling back into this support zone here between 103 to 101, with our previous week low being down at 102,723, right? So we don't want to go down there. We don't want to retest this area too many times. We don't want to lose that area. In the meantime, altcoins, like I said, have been rallying. They've been pumping off Bitcoin's little pump. The Bitcoin dominance still does remain high. We're still at 64.49%, right? No major drop in Bitcoin dominance. We kind of topped out around 64.91. So we've had a minor 0.5% of a pullback for the Bitcoin dominance overall, but nothing major. We really need to start closing below the previous week low of 63.77 on the Bitcoin dominance to really start having a big change here for the altcoins to start rallying. Ethereum getting back above 27.11. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. Let's jump back. Let's jump into the chat here. I want to talk to my people. I want to say hello. What indicators are you using? Rich, those are I have some private indicators that I've created myself, and then some of the other indicators are all free. They're all, volume profiles, stuff like that, gold pocket retracements, VWAP, all that is free. But, this London thing, the London and Asia trading sessions, along with this weekly support and previous day highs and stuff like that, that's all my private indicators. Let's see here. Hello, Ondo in near protocol opinion. I'm very bullish on Ondo overall. Very, very bullish on Ondo in the long term for sure. Give me a second here. Oh, what's going on? Just Clay the Great in the house says, what's good, brother? Hope you had a badass Father's Day. Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody in there smashing those likes. So my opinions on Ondo, obviously I'm very bullish on Ondo in the long term. Extremely bullish on it. Part of the real world asset narrative, one of the largest real world asset projects, working with BlackRock, Securitize, the Buildo Asset Fund. It needs to get above 102, right? That's the big change. The big thing is that it needs to get above 102. If it cannot, right, there's going to continue to be facing resistance. We're going to be talking about Aerodrome here in quite a minute, since we are hitting a lot of targets for Aerodrome. Aerodrome having a very strong breakout to the upside. So overall, let me get rid of this gold pocket. We already filled this gold pocket. Turn off some of these indicators here. So Ondo, right, pretty much has been rotating the April range overall, came down as low as 75 cents, just finding pretty much support at the value area low of the April range. We need to get above, creating a little bit of a inverse head and shoulders kind of thing. I don't really know what kind of ugly pattern this is, but overall we need to get above 91 cents. I'm not surprised we rejected, right? We had the value area low, then right above that we had the monthly MPOC and the monthly untapped average right there on 91. Not surprised at all on this rejection. And then once we can get back above 91, we need to fight this block of resistance here. Closing above 102 is hypercritical for Ondo to keep pushing up to 132 to about 165 to the upside. Now let's go take a look at Aerodrome here. Aerodrome is having a big push today, baby. A big push. Let's go. Overall, massive breakout, right? Since we broke out of this downtrend, we broke above the May range value area high. We have hit all of our targets here within the Q1 range so far, breaking above 84 cents. Our next big area is going to be this block of resistance between 94 to about $1.05. That is going to be the value area high of Q1. It's going to be the value area low of Q4. And, just a lot of, resistance and support was held within this area before. So I expect to continue playing this similar situation out. Now, if we can break above 105 and close daily candles above 105, we do got some targets, obviously, along with some more resistance along the way. But our big targets to the upside are around 164 to 168 for Aerodrome. Once we get above $1.05, it can close there. We do have another block of resistance between 136 to 156. But overall, our macro targets are 164 to 168 for Aerodrome. So smash those likes, baby. Aerodrome is pumping. That's what I like to see. Bitcoin here is trying to build a little like bullish pennant, bullish flag up here at this level before another major breakout. We will see if this can hold. I'm not a big patterns trader. You know that. I follow the volume. And so far, you know, the pattern-wise, this might look like a little bullish pennant, bullish flag or whatever it is that you call. But, you know, we'll see here. Hopefully it holds and it pushes back to the upside. Let's jump back in here into the chat. Appreciate everybody smashing those likes. Let's see here. Sell frame is up 25%. Sheesh, let's go. I really need to buckle down of stacking up this asset. Let's go. Let's go, Clay the Great. Let's see here. We'll cover New York Protocol in a minute. I'm in a long on ETH, 25 holding. Should I TP 3K? You're up 3,000 or you're going to TP at 3,000? You're going to TP at 3,000? I'm assuming your question is going to about TPing at 3,000. So when it comes to Ethereum, 3,000 would not be a terrible idea to TP. And here's why, right? The reason why it's not a bad idea at all, right, is simple this. First off, we got rejected at 28.79 last time we came up here. Up at 2,900, right? We have the value area high of Q1, and we have an untapped average around 29.23. So, and then we have a weekly average at $3,015. So we definitely have some targets and some potential resistance breaking into that $3,000 area. The fact that you longed down at what 25.25, you said, which is right on the point of control area, right on the point of control for this previous week overall. That would be a fantastic move. Let's see here. Let's measure that move out from this low. Come on, man. From this low right here. So about $3,000 flat. Let's see if you can catch $3,000 flat. Come on. That's an 18.55% move without leverage. If you're using leverage, that is a fantastic, fantastic trade. Definitely don't be greedy. And at least take some profits, man. Nobody goes broke taking profits, right? Nobody goes broke taking profits. This morning in the Crypto Citadel, right? I took profits on the second TP. We've come up almost to our third TP. I could have made a lot more profit. But guess what, guys? I made 239 smackaroons for working, what? An hour and a half? People work a 9-to-5 job. When I used to work a 9-to-5 job, right, as a programmer, I would make, what, $75K a year? I would make $200 after taxes or whatever at the end of the day. $200 after working 8 hours. I worked for an hour and a half at most, managing the trade, eating breakfast, hanging out with my kids, hanging out with my wife, and I made $239. So can't be upset about that at all. That's fantastic money. Don't be greedy. Take your profits. That's how you pay yourself. Nobody goes broke by paying themselves. You only go broke if you diamond hand forever. Let's see here. Appreciate all of you guys smashing those likes. Let me make sure I'm not missing any questions. Let's see here. Where is? All right, let me see. Making sure I'm not missing anybody. Don't forget the top one. Oh, yeah, top one. So basically, guys, top one, right? Top one futures, not top one futures, but top one, what you call it? Top One Futures is a platform. It's a prop firm platform, right, that you can trade on. Now, it works just like the traditional markets, right? It has certain time hours of the day that you can open and trade with it. It's basically you're paying about $400 to get access to $150,000 in cash. And the minute you're thinking about it, you're like, wait a minute, who will give you $150,000 to trade with for $400? The way it works is real simple. You have $150,000, but you can only lose up until $6,000. If you lose more than $6,000, right? If you go below 144, then your account gets completely shut off. There's other rules on how much you can lose within 1 day before your account gets cut off. So there's certain rules that you need to align yourself with to make sure that you're not violating them. If you do, your account will be breached and it'll be shut down, right? Now, if you can stay profitable above $150, then $150,000, then every trade you make that it's profitable above that, you get to cash out and take home. They keep a percentage. Obviously, they make money off a percentage of profits you make. And then, if you blow the account, you're gonna have to sign up and buy another one. If your account gets breached and closed, you're gonna have to buy another account, and it costs you $400, $500, whatever it is. So that's the way it pretty much works. And you can only trade in it within the traditional finance hours. Like you can't trade in it after dark, after 5 o'clock or whatever it is. It's shut down just like the traditional markets. It's Bitcoin micro contracts. It's so it's a lot different than trading. You're basically trading CME futures. You're not trading just regular futures like you're doing on these other exchanges. But small amount of capital to risk. It's really good for people that have small capital, right? That don't have $1,000 or plus to really trade with. They can get an account that can trade a decent amount of money with a little bit of risk of you're only really risking $400, whatever it is that you paid for. Let's see here. Ganja says, good morning, good morning, good morning. Appreciate you. Let's see here. Making sure. Good morning, Tita. Appreciate everybody in here hanging out, smashing those likes. Make sure you guys are filling up those like meters. 5,000 likes already. Let's get it. Is BitPie Pro trading real? I don't know what that is, but that doesn't sound real. That doesn't sound real. ZBEC woke up today. Let's go take a look at ZBEC. ZBEC waking up today up at 0.0047. Let's go, up 16.8% today. Let's go. I'm still not going to be buying that thing spot, but let's go take a look at the chart for ZBEC. ZBEC chart is right here. So ZBEC overall. Overall here, ZBEC is having a nice little U recovery back above this daily average that we've tapped quite a few times, back at 0.0048, right? It's trying to get back in this previous week range over here. Right now above 0.48, we need to close above that. Let's get a little bit of a gold pocket. Let's actually update this chart a little bit. Let's get up here all the way to the downside. Boom, gold pocket is sitting right at this area. We're currently rejecting right now, right off of the, oh no, we haven't even tapped that yet. Okay, cool, no problem. Let's get the previous week range overall. Let's get this week as well. Let's drop down to the 4-hour. Just doing some updates here on ZBEC. Okay, that range's been pretty much filled. Okay. Do have an NPLC down here. Let's get any untapped weeklies. Okay. Well, it's already been tapped, so don't really need that. Let's get some dailies. Dailies have all been tapped as well, I assume. Yep. Okay, cool. So let's zoom out here on the ZBEC. So right now, ZBEC overall, we have the 382 at 0.005, and we have a weekly untapped average at 0.0051. So this is going to be an area of resistance here for ZBEC to look out for, right, for a potential pullback. If we are going to get a pullback, we'll be around this area. If we can get above 0.051 for ZBEC, we could be pushing up to our untapped daily average in our gold pocket up at 0.0059 to 0.062. That's for ZBEC. Now, if we get rejected, we continue to fall back below the main range value area high of 0.0044. Then targets to the downside are still remaining at 0.0038 to 0.0036, and potentially down to the gold pocket of 0.0032. Those are still the same targets to the downside. Overall, the altcoins are pumping today, along with Bitcoin, since Bitcoin is having a little bit of a breakout. So overall, Bitcoin is still trying to hold this bullish pennant, little bullish flag, or whatever it is. We'll see. We might get a retest of the London high. If we do get a retest of the London high, if it doesn't hold, we could be dropping lower. If it does hold, it might be an okay entry to take a potential long with a very tight stop, right? Very tight stop here off the London high retest, as we have not retested that area yet. I would jump into a little tight stop, into a tight long here with a tight stop loss for a potential push to the upside later today. Let's see here. Happy Father's Day, late for Crusader. Appreciate it, Tita. No problem, no problem. Can you trade ETH on it? Yes, you can trade ETH and Bitcoin on the top one futures. On the top one futures, you can trade both, ETH and Bitcoin. Yeah, those are the only two crypto assets you can trade. Everything else is like commodities, Forex, because it's all traditional finance stuff. Another great withdrawals today. Really appreciate it. Oh, my goodness. Get blocked, bro. What's going on? Hey, yo, what's going on with Bitcoin, dude? Bitcoin's having a nice little breakout earlier this morning, right? We came down. We swept the London low. We bounced off the VWAP. We took the long in the Crypto Citadel. We rolled it up to our first and second TP. We hit those, and then we've been front running our third TP here at 107,800 all morning. But it's okay. We closed out on the second TP, made some money, made over 200 smackaroons today, and now we're above the London high. Right, we're still within the previous week range for Bitcoin overall. So right now we're probably going to retest this London high. Right, we're going to retest this London high, see if we can have some support. Hold that area if we can. Bitcoin could continue to rally to the upside here. Right, there's a lot of things happening this week that are critical events happening this week. If we go take a look at where is it? Where did I post it? Where is it? Right here. I posted this yesterday. Right, we have the tensions of the market. Right, so far right now we have a potential peace deal in the works. If that does play out, then everything will be good. If the peace deal falls apart, that could be bad for the markets. Right, we have OPEC releases monthly reports on Monday. We have the May retail sales data on tomorrow on Tuesday. We have a Fed rate decision on Wednesday. Right, over 90% of the market is expecting rates to remain the same, which is good for the markets. Right, the markets like things to stay the same. If it changes, if we get the rate cut, could be short-term bearish and overall long-term bullish, but I definitely don't expect them to increase interest rates. So overall, probably going to be a big nothing burger for the Fed rate decision. U.S. market is closed on Thursday, and then the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index is on Friday. So some big news, some big updates, big events happening this week overall. Things to look out for here in the market this week that could make the market, gotta get a little loosey-goosey. What does London high mean? So the London high, right? While we're sleeping after 8 p.m. Eastern time, I want you guys to understand that after we go to sleep at 8 p.m. Eastern time, the Asia trading session begins. That is when the Asia stock market is during their work hours, right? And that's between 8 p.m. Eastern American time, right? 8 p.m. Eastern to about 1 to 2 in the morning a.m. Eastern time. It's all based Eastern time because I'm in the Eastern, time zone. So between 8 p.m. to about 2 a.m. Eastern. Then the London session starts from 2 a.m. to about 8 a.m. in the morning. Then the London session is over, and then the New York session begins. So the London high is actually the highest price point that Bitcoin reached during the London session. So during the 6 to 7 hours that the London session was working, that is the highest point it reached. And the lows are the same thing, the lowest point of price action for the London session. And the Asia session has the same thing. It has a top high point and a top low point for Bitcoin price. I follow those areas because those areas are critical areas to sweep and to either get rejected from or to pump off of. And that's exactly what we did this morning. If we see here, the London low, right, was right at 106,495 kind of area. The VWAP was at that area as well. So 2 support zones, and the price basically pierced those levels and then had a quick reaction, bullish to the upside, pumping above it, meaning a sweep just happened, grabbed liquidity, and it continued to pump to the upside. And that is a reversal that we were looking for to enter long. And that's what we did in the Crypto Citadel this morning. That is why my signal for this morning at 8:32 a.m. was like, if the VWAP and London low is swept. So I gave everybody well over 30 minutes to an hour to see this signal and understand why this was the entry. To look for this entry, keep a tight stop. And these are the 3 TPs we've hit. 2 out of the 3 TPs. We closed on the second TP today, made 239 smackaroons. And so far, we haven't hit our 3rd TP, but that's okay. I already closed for the day. I already made money. The other members in the Citadel that haven't closed already and that are still in, they're definitely way higher in the profit. And I recommend all of them to always move their stop loss above. Definitely take some profits within those TPs, at least 25%, and then move your stop loss into the positive so that there is 0 chance that you lose money. If make gains, should you exchange for another like Bitcoin or take gains and reinvest? So one thing is reinvesting your profits for altcoins, and another thing is reinvesting, your trading portfolio. So overall, me as an individual, I run 2 different portfolios, and everyone should have 2 different portfolios. You have your trading portfolio where you're taking trades every single day, and then you have your long-term hold portfolio, right, which is the altcoins or Bitcoin, Ethereum that you hold in spot over in the long term. The money you're making off the trading portfolio, you can continue to grow your trading portfolio and just trade with a larger amount. But if you don't want to, you can cycle some of the profits, right? Some of the profits from your trading portfolio into your spot longs when you have a big dip. That's what I do, right? As I'm making money trading, if we have a big crash in the market, and I'm talking about a significant crash, I'm not talking about buying every little tiny dip, because I don't want to be locking up my trading money for a very long period of time in a position where it could drop lower, right? I don't want to be dollar cost averaging too much and buying every single dip. That's how you get trapped. Overall, if there's a big crash, big drop in the market, then I'll push some of the profits that I've made from my trading portfolio into my long spot dollar cost averaging portfolio, and buy more altcoins. But I don't buy every single little red day. I don't buy every single little dip or anything like that. Let's take a look at here. Bitcoin. Bitcoin's getting closer to that London high. Long term for me, let's go. Let's see here. Do you think Chainlink will reach $20 by end of June? Let's see here. Let's go take a look at Chainlink. I don't even know what Chainlink is at right now. I do believe it's going to hit $20 at some point in time again, for sure. Now, by the end of June, I don't think so. We're about halfway through June right now. We're currently sitting at $13.81, right? 13.81. Can we rally all the way up to $20, right? Anything's possible in 2 weeks, right? For an altcoin to rally, it's going to rally literally 47% from where we're at right now. 47%. That's a pretty steep trend in the next 2 weeks. Obviously, we would have to be experiencing a major altcoin rally, meaning Bitcoin dominance will have to be dropping drastically below 62 to 63, below 63 or 62%, right? Major drop in Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin pushing towards great new all-time highs, sustaining those levels to be able to get Chainlink to pump 47% in the next 2 weeks. So ideally, the probability of this happening is probably very slim to none. Now, can Chainlink hit $20 again? Yes, I do believe Chainlink can run and hit $20 again at some point in the future later this year, as we have another major altcoin season at some point, but just not between now, right? I could be wrong. We could have the largest altcoin season ever in the next 2 weeks. Just, I think that the probability of that happening realistically is very slim. So I would say, no, we're probably not going to hit $20. or Chainlink is probably not going to pump 47% in the next 14 days. That's just my personal opinion. How many of the cryptos on this screen are you going to be around for? Are going to be around after registration? You're talking about the ETFs. The overall, like, we have millions of altcoins, right? We have millions and millions of altcoins that exist right now. The grand majority, 98% of them, are all gonna go away. They're all gonna go away. So one thing you guys need to be aware of is that with the grand majority of these altcoins going away, you're going to have to be looking for the altcoins that get the ETFs. If an altcoin is not getting an ETF, that altcoin is probably not going to be around, and you're going to have to put it at a way higher risk category in your risk management portfolio, right? When you're managing the risk in your portfolio, you're going to have to say, hey, if this altcoin doesn't have an ETF, the risk for it is extremely a lot higher, and it's going to have to play accordingly to that risk, right? All the people that are playing just all in the tiny micro caps, because those are the ones that are going to make you rich and get 100x, the grand majority of those people are going to get wiped out. I'm just telling you the truth. The grand majority of those people are going to get wiped out. Let's see here. Boss, can you check Arrow, please? Yeah, we'll definitely check on Aerodrome again. I'll circle back on it right now and see what Bitcoin is doing. Bitcoin is pumping back up, baby. Let's go. Bitcoin's pumping back up. Let's go take a look at Aerodrome again. Like I said, Aerodrome's having a nice breakout today overall. Very strong breakout. We've been having a breakout since June 12th, right? Breaking out of this downtrend. Then on June 13th, on Friday, we broke out of the May range, value area high. And then today we've broken through our targets here, breaking above 84 cents. We need to get above 95 to $1.06, right? Closing a daily above $1.06 will break us out of the Q1 range, which would be very significant. Big flip of resistance into support. And if we can close above $1.05, then we have some big room. We have more room to run between 136 to 168 to the upside for Aerodrome. So our next big resistance is between 95 to $1.05. We need to get above that for Aerodrome. Appreciate everybody in here. Appreciate all of you guys smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe. Let's get it rocking and rolling. Let me make sure I'm not missing anybody in the chat here. Dennis, what's going on, bro? Can you take a look at Pepe, please? I'll definitely take a look at Pepe. Karen, do you post more than one trade a day in your Discord? I usually post one trade a day, especially if we're already in the profit. I'm not going to be taking multiple trades. The more trades you take, the more likely you are going to give up those gains, right? Trading in the market is a PvP game, guys. It's just like the casino, right? The house always wins. The longer you're in the casino, the bigger the chances are that you're going to give up all your profits. That's why when Dana White walks in and he plays roulette and he puts everything on black and he doubles up, he's out. He won, he's out of the casino. That's why the casinos hate Dana White, right? Because he knows how to walk away with profits. Now, if Dana White spends another 6 to 12 hours just gambling away in the casino, you can bet your money that at some point in time, that luck is going to run out and he's going to lose, and he's going to give all that money back plus more to the house. And you don't want to do that. So the more trades you take, the likelier is that you're eventually going to get hit, right? Especially if you don't keep tight stop losses, you can start gaining a lot of little small losses to a point where you're no longer profitable for the day. So we walked into a trade today. We made 200 plus smackaroons in less than an hour. I'm out. I'm done. I made my daily salary, guys. If you can make $200 every day trading, you have a full-time salary. You have a full-time salary. Anybody that's making $75K a year, that's all you need, right? So don't let the greed get to you. So if there's, for whatever reason, a little bit of a small loss in the day and there's a really good opportunity later in the day, we'll take a second trade, right? But there's no reason to risk capital when you've already took a great, magnificent trade, especially right now where there's no good entry. Like Bitcoin is floating in the middle of nowhere, right? We took the trade when we were bouncing off support. We came down to the VWAP. We came down to the London low. This was the area of confluence. This was the area of volume to take a trade, right? Where there was a potential. There's always risk, but the entry has potential to continue to hold support and give you the big bounce. That was the area to trade, right? Not here in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of nowhere right now at 107. What am I going to do? Long this thing? Am I going to short it? We're in the middle of nowhere. I have no support. I have no resistance, right? The only other possible trade I could take is if we get down to this London high back at 107.254. If I see some strong bounce off of it, some confluence that I could hold support, have a re-entry here for another potential long to the upside. That's the only thing I could take. But at the end of the day, this entry here does not have the same level of confluence as this entry over here, where we had the VWAP and we had the London low, and we were resisting here to even come down here, showing some strong buying pressure coming in. The volume, everything was just better here than it is getting a small entry just off the London high. So right now, I wouldn't be taking any more trades for the day, and I don't plan to. So sometimes we just take one trade a day. That's all we need. One trade a day makes the doctor go away. I don't know. Just making some stuff up. Let's see here. Dennis wants to look at 𝗭𝗢𝗢𝗠𝗘𝗫. Let's go take a look at 𝗭𝗢𝗢𝗠𝗘𝗫, my friends. Good old 𝗭𝗢𝗢𝗠𝗘𝗫. 𝗭𝗢𝗢𝗠𝗘𝗫 over here right now is trying to get above the quarterly average, struggling to get above the quarterly average of 1149. We're currently at 1131 here for 𝗭𝗢𝗢𝗠𝗘𝗫, right? If 𝗭𝗢𝗢𝗠𝗃 does drop, we are currently been holding support around 1045. If we lose that area, right, we could be coming back to between 0921 to as low as 0794, which is a very significant drop from where we're at right now to this area. Is an 18% to about 29% drop to the downside. I'm not saying that we will. I'm just saying something to look out for. We need to get above this quarterly average. We need to get back in the May range. We do have a monthly NPOC up at 1391, which is currently from where we are right now. If we are bottoming out, looks like we're creating a little bit of a double bottom here. But if we are bottoming out from where we are to the monthly NPOC, is about a 23% pump for 𝗭𝗢𝗢𝗠𝗃 to the upside. And then we do have another monthly NPOC above the May range at 1741 from where we are right now to that 1745 is a 54.49% pump to the upside. Those are the nearest targets for 𝗭𝗢𝗢𝗠𝗃 above the monthly NPOC of 1741. We do have a move from where we are right now to the gold pocket of 2029, which is a 76.67% move to the upside. So those are the targets for 𝗭𝗢𝗢𝗠𝗃 right now. Appreciate every single one of you guys joining in here. XRP to 190 after it tops at 236. Let's go take a look at XRP. XRP is a nice fan favorite. Everybody loves some XRP, except for me. I hate XRP, but that's just me. Right, so XRP overall here right now, once again, bottomed out here off this support of 208, bounced back into the May range, right? We have two targets here at 234, 236 that we could be hitting here in the short term. Those are the local targets for the May range. Our big target is getting above 242. 242 is where all the resistance is at, as you guys can see here. Major resistance at 242. Getting above 242 makes me more bullish on XRP. Meanwhile, we stay below 242, not that bullish, just very short-term chop action. So getting above 242 allows us to run for 257, which is above the value area high for May. And then we might have a run to the quarter one value area high at 277, where is also a macro gold pocket. Those are the targets for the short term for XRP, but I'm not looking at those targets to the upside until we can start closing above 242. In the meantime, 234, 236 are the targets. If we get rejected there and fall back out of the May range, the targets for support still remain between 208 to 197 with a monthly untapped average around 205 for good old XRP. Now, SUI. Let's go to, oh no, the wrong chart. Let's go take a look at SUI. SUI. All right, SUI still back within the support zone here above 303, currently sitting at 312, right? We are dipping lower and lower, making lower highs, right? Which is creating a downtrend here so far for SUI, right? If this downtrend continues, then we're at some point might meet this gold pocket that is within the April range down at 262. And if the gold pocket does not hold, we do have a monthly NPOC for April down at 220, right? But meanwhile, this support continues to hold and we continue to move to the upside. If we can break out of this downtrend, we need to get above 353 to break market structure, break the lower highs. and start making a run within the May range to about 388 to 390. Those are the targets in the short term here for SUI before eventually breaking out above the $4 range, breaking out above the May range, and running for $4.81 to the upside for SUI. Let's see here. Can you check Uni? Can you look at Ondo, please? Yeah, definitely. We'll look at all of those. Appreciate everybody watching. Appreciate everybody smashing those likes. Appreciate everybody sending in a super chat. Really does support smashing those likes and sending in those gifts as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Crypto Missionary says SPX 69, XPX 6900. So yeah, I made a video on that one about a week ago over on my YouTube, and it has hit targets. So definitely go take a check. Definitely go check it out. Let's go take a look at SUI here. What's Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin just going sideways. All right. Uniswap. Very bullish on Uniswap overall long term. Look at this. Uniswap had a major breakout of the May range, right? We broke out. We front ran our main target here, our first target of 875, and we dropped all the way back to the value area high of May, right? Dropped back to the value area high, and now we're bouncing off of that value area high again. We're currently sitting on 785 for Uniswap. Uniswap has created a little bit of a little uptrend, right? Not a major steep uptrend or anything like that, but we've continued to make higher lows, which is very important for Uniswap. We're currently above the May range, so our targets to the upside are still between 875 to 922. Meanwhile, we stay above the May range of 693. Staying above 693, our targets are between 875 to 922 before we run into the anchored VWAP around $9 and some change, around 40 cents. Assuming we can get above 920 and start skyrocketing, right? Our next big test is going to be at the 382 fib retracement of $10.25. And then above that is the value area high for Q1 at $11.35. Getting above the Q1 value area high, our targets are between 1257 to 1425 with a gold pocket to the upside. So those are the targets for the upside for Uniswap overall. Sorry, I don't know if you guys caught all of that, but those were the targets for Uniswap. Targets to the upside, 875 to 922. Above that, we're running for the Q1 value area high of $11.35. We get above the Q1, targets are between 1257 to about 1425. Just had to make a quick little recap there. Covered SUI, covered XRP. Let's see here. Lots of new members to the Citadel. Let's go, Diamond. Diamond always supporting, always showing support, man. Always being active in the Crypto Citadel. I appreciate you, Diamond. Appreciate the kind words, man. Yeah, a lot of new members in there. Gotta ask. If you're new to the Crypto Citadel, ask questions, take signals, ask questions about entries, about stop losses, ask questions about macro charts. Is not all about signals either. In the Crypto Citadel, we do a lot of more than just signals. I know we're focused on trading, but people that are long-term holders that are in the Crypto Citadel, macro long-term analysis, daily trade setups, daily updates on Bitcoin and trends on the market overall, all of this is happening in there. So make sure you are asking questions. The more you ask, the more you get. Magic says, can you check AVAX and SPX? Yes, we'll definitely check both of those right now. Let's go take a look at AVAX here up next. Let's go. Bitcoin's pulling back towards that London high. We'll see if it can hold. Like I said, I'm not taking any more trades, but we'll see if it can hold above this London high here. Oh, that's right, AVAX. AVAX still fooling around at the lows here. AVAX is currently at $19.69. We've just been bouncing off this monthly average around this area, right? Currently, we fell below it. Now we're back above it. We need to get back within the May range. We need to get back above the monthly average of $2.24, which will put us back in the May range. Our target within May is $23.51, but big resistance at the quarterly average of $26.36. We need to get above that to run for our value area high of Q1. That is sitting at $28.53. And above that, we have a weekly untapped average of $29.91. So definitely expect some resistance between the Q1 value area high and this weekly untapped average. So between 28 to about $30 resistance, because it has been major support in the past. we've seen a lot of support here, right? You guys can see this area here between, where is it? Between 20 to 30 bucks, 28 to 30 bucks. A lot of support, resistance, support, right? Boom, and resistance again. So definitely expect, support, some resistance on this area once we can get above that area, right? That was just a quick and dirty little capture of resistance and support. Once we can get above that, we do have the range of January with targets between 36 to 37, and we have a gold pocket up at $41 for AVAX. The other one was AVAX and what else? AVAX and, oh, that's right, SPX. XPX is one that I recently started to track. Overall, SPX has had a major breakout, right? We rallied all the way up, almost hitting our previous all-time high of $1.80. We pulled all the way back to our monthly average here of $1.28. And since then, we've been bouncing off this monthly average of 128, almost hitting our all-time high again today, hitting 170. So we're building some sideways chop here, building some support above here, which is good. Now, if we lose 128, targets to the downside here, we're trying to find between, it's 117, which is an untapped weekly average. And then we have the value area high for quarter one at 109. So between 117 to 109, we need to hold. If SPX did not hold that after losing 128, we could be dropping down to 89 cents, which is the value area high of the month of May. And it's also an untapped monthly average. If that doesn't hold, we fall into the May range. We have a gold pocket down at 66 cents and a monthly untapped NPOC for the month of May down at 54 cents. So lots of movement to the downside for XPX if we start to lose support between 128 to about $1.09. So that's the big area of support. If we lose 128 to $1.09, then we could be seeing a way steeper drop for SPX. Bitcoin right now, nice little downtrend here. Nice little, it's not downtrend, nice little parallel channel. Where is my channel? Channel tool, where are you? Here you are. Sorry about that. Let me turn my magnet on. Overall, nice little channel here. Right? Nice little channel here. And we're building some support off this area here, staying above the London high. We'll see what happens if we retest it and we continue dropping lower. But if we can hold above this London high and hold above this up above this lower band of the downtrend, right, we can break out of this bullish pennant, bullish flag, whatever people want to call it. I don't know the names of these patterns, but we can start pushing back up towards the TP for sure. Like I said, I'm not taking any more trades today, but overall, that's looking pretty good. Thoughts on 𝗭𝗢, guys? 𝗭𝗢, I know it's a meme coin by Alex Costa, World War Bitcoin. I like the guy a lot. Really smart dude, great content creator. But at the end of the day, it's a meme coin. It's gonna be volatile, right? If you're into meme coins, awesome. If the community is great, that's awesome. But at the end of the day, I'm not a long-term meme coin holder. I'll jump into a meme coin, I'll make money, and I'm jumping right back out. The only meme coin I hold in the long term is the official Trump meme coin, just because at any moment in time, anything wild can be announced, and this thing could rally. They could add utility to it, and it because of the branding, right? But outside of that, even this is extremely volatile. So appreciate all of you guys jumping in here. It's called Top Step Futures. It's called Top One Futures. Top One Futures. Let's go look at their X over here. Top One Futures. Top One Traders over here, but it's actually Top One Futures when you go to their website. Quick little. Yeah, it's Top One Futures. They call it Top One Trader for whatever reason. They've got their branding all messed up. But overall, this is the website. This is how you can sign up. In the Crypto Citadel, obviously, I have a link where you can get 50% off. You can get 50% off if you're planning on joining. So you can definitely take advantage of that if you're in the Crypto Citadel. AVAX and HBAR are good buys right now. DCA, let's see, what is HBAR at? I definitely believe AVAX is a very strong dollar cost averaging position at this point, unless Bitcoin has a major retracement below 100,000. But meanwhile, Bitcoin holds above 100,000. Yeah, buying AVAX at $19 is definitely a low price deal here. H bar sitting at 16. Let's go take a look at H bar's chart. Yeah, H bar pretty much sitting close to it. The April lows, right? The April lows were down at 12 cents. We're still within the April range, pretty much at the value area low of the April range of 15 cents. We're just a cent above that. We have a lot of resistance on the way up, but we need to get above 18 cents to 19 cents for May, and then we can start making a run towards above our yearly pivot and quarterly pivot of 23 cents before making some bigger moves. Thank you for the gift. Thank you. Appreciate it. Honest. Let's see here. Thank you for all the gifts, man. Thank you for all the roses. Greatly appreciate it. It's a green font, right? Yes, it's a green font, Ganja. I believe I have a link to it in my link tree. Oh, but I don't have my link tree up here. Have you heard or looked into AI agent Giza on base? No, I have not heard of that. Giza. It's down 50.9% on the week, $15 million market cap. Definitely volatile. What do you think about Texit coin? What the heck is Texit? Yeah, that doesn't even come up. Have you opened a short on Bitcoin, Garcia? No, I have not opened any shorts on Bitcoin. Let's see where's Bitcoin at. No, man, Bitcoin's holding support here. We're in a little bit of a downtrend here, creating a little bearish flag. I mean, a little bullish flag, bullish pennant overall. I forget what the name of the pennant is, a bullish flag, a bullish pennant, which is bullish overall. We continue to hold above the London high. So I'm definitely not shorting right now. Virtual will run. I agree. Virtual will run. AI agents will probably continue to have another rally for sure. Arrow is up 60% in the last week. Yes, it is. Everybody's talked a lot of smack about Aerodrome and me being bullish on Aerodrome, but I was telling you guys, don't fade the fact that Aerodrome is one of the biggest DeFi players on the Base network, which is connected to Coinbase, and you think Coinbase isn't going to have major partnership, it isn't going to have a bigger utility added to the Base network, you think Base network is just going to be meme coins forever? Absolutely not. They partnered up with Shopify, they partnered up with American Express for a credit card, and now they're partnering up to add some more DEX volume and all this stuff happening with DEXs, I forget what it was, onto the Base network, and that is why Aerodrome is running. Does Aerodrome have the best tokenomics? No, it doesn't. But from a technical aspect and a fundamental aspect, it's only a matter of time before Aerodrome performs. Can you check ADA? I'll definitely check ADA Wormhole. I don't know anything about Wormhole. I've seen a lot of people talk about this thing. Up 2.9% today, down 24% on the month. Yeah, don't really know too much about that. Cardano, ADA's up 3% today. Woohoo! We're still sitting at 65 cents, baby. Let's get it. Let's go take a look at the ADA chart. Yeah, ADA overall still just, bouncing around its gold pocket off the monthly point of control here for April of 62 cents. We need to get back above the anchored VWAP of 71, start making a move to re-enter the May range above 73. We have a monthly MPOC at 75. Nothing exciting. It's not going to get exciting until Cardano can start closing dailies above 81 to 83 cents, which will be breaking us out of the May range and holding us above the yearly average. Once we can start moving above that, then we can start making a run for $1, right? Between 94 to $1, expect some strong resistance in that area. But once we can get back above $1, Cardano is going to get exciting. Until then, not too much excitement for Cardano sitting at its current levels. Obviously, if you're dollar cost averaging, awesome. But let's just hope Bitcoin doesn't have a major retracement, because if it does, it's going to poop the bed. Do you believe AVAX would go above 100 USD. So AVAX going above $100 is something that I have believed in the past, and there are targets. We do have targets above 100,000. So if we go take a look at the AVAX chart again, right? Once we start getting above all these levels and start getting above $54, we start breaking above all-time highs, right? Not all-time highs, but previous local highs for 2024. We have targets above at 71 to 76. Then we have targets between 97 to 120. And then our previous all-time high is $147. $147 is nothing wild at all for AVAX. Nothing wild at all for AVAX, especially with the level of real-world asset adoption that is happening on Avalanche. The adoption rate of crypto gaming happening on Avalanche, right? Their subnet technology is only getting better and better, and there's more things being built on AVAX as a layer one. It's only a matter of time that Avalanche gets its own ETF. I 100% believe Avalanche will get an ETF. The level of real-world asset adoption happening there, I forget what. I literally forget what was the headline. AVAX deed tokenization 2025 June. Yes, New Jersey. Here it is, CoinDesk. New Jersey's Bergen County to tokenize. Can you get rid of this? Okay, cool. Whatever. It says to tokenize $240 billion in real estate deeds on the Avalanche network. This came out on May 28th, right? The wealthy New York City suburb will migrate 370,000 property deeds representing $240 billion worth of real estate onto the immutable, searchable blockchain ledger of AVAX. That is a massive, 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 massive real-world asset tokenization on AVAX. They also have emeralds or gems overall. I think it was diamonds. They have other stuff happening in California as well with deeds, but I think it's for cars instead of real estate being tokenized on the blockchain. They have real-world asset tokenization adoption. They have real-world crypto gaming happening on AVAX. And guess what? AVAX's price is not representing that real level of adoption. I think it's only a matter of time that they get a strong ETF approval. Once we start getting Ethereum staking ETF, I think that's what's really going to happen. The Ethereum staking is going to go active, and then after the Ethereum staking is active for the ETF, we're going to get a flood of a bunch of altcoin ETFs, and AVAX is going to be one of them, and then AVAX can start to represent some real price action. Because right now, that is a very suppressed price at $19 with what is happening for AVAX. And AVAX's market cap is not even that high. Its current market cap is only $8.34 billion. If we look here at historical price action back in 2021, market cap reached 30 billion. I know market structure has definitely changed sentiment with all the meme coins and stuff. Getting to 30 billion is going to be a lot harder this time around, but overall, I definitely think we can have some big pushes to the upside here. Back in 2024, we pushed up to about 20 billion in at the end of May, at the end of December of 2024. Actually, the beginning of December, we were at $20 billion market cap. Definitely think we can reach that and higher again later this year in the next major altcoin rally, whenever that is. Appreciate all of you guys jumping in here. Appreciate all of you guys smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe. Guys, if you haven't joined the Crypto Citadel, definitely do so. You can get 50% off your first month with the code Citadel. If you want to try it out just for your first month, get 50% off. Try it out. Don't like it, you can cancel at any time. But overall, guys, we're doing some big gains there. Every single day we're taking trades, keeping tight stop losses, managing our risk, and, printing money, baby. That's what we do. So overall, appreciate every single one of you guys in there. Appreciate all of you guys. If you're not a trader, you can definitely join a lot of long-term and daily market updates and setups just so people can dollar cost average. So definitely, guys, I'll see you guys in the Crypto Citadel. I'm Blockchain Crusader, crusading through these blockchains every single day. And like I said, I'll see you in the Citadel.